Hi friends, it's Nancy Jacobs from Embroidery It at embroideryit.com. I'm so glad to be here with you today because we're going to make these cute little star coasters just perfect for the month of July. Alright, you guys can get the design over at embroideryit.com. It is free during the month of July, so head on over there, and if you're watching this video after July, there's something else there just for you. So there's always things going on. And let's get started. I'll tell you the supplies that you'll need, and then please stitch right along with me. Alright, I have in my 4x4 hoop hooped up a lightweight tearaway stabilizer. It's ready to go. I've got 2 pieces of felt cut 5 inches square, and I've got a piece of cotton fabric approximately 4 inches square. That'll be for the star. And I've got 3 colors of thread ready to go. I've got white, which matches my felt, and then I've got 2 additional colors. I have one for the burst, and which is the gold, and then I've got the blue to go around the star. So I've already got my white thread loaded up, ready to go. Oh, the other thing you'll want is get you some tape handy. I like painter's tape, but you can use regular tape. That works just as well. Alright, the design is loaded up in the machine, and I'm going to lower the camera so you guys can see and you can watch exactly what's happening, and just stitch right along with me here. So here we go. Now the first thing that's going to stitch is what's called the placement stitch. This is going to show us where to place our felt. If you're following along the thread chart, which is included in with your design, you will see that shown in red. And friends, just use whatever color matches your felt. Alright, now we can see exactly where our piece of felt needs to go, and we just kind of want to center it over that stitching line. If you would like to tape it in place, that's fine, but I really feel like felt has enough of a tooth to it that it really holds nicely to the stabilizer. It's a stiffer fabric that I really don't have a problem with not taping it during this stage here. This is the tack down. This is tacking down that felt to the stabilizer. You will see that in blue on the design, and the reason, but just stitch it in white to match your felt. And the reason it's shown in blue, well, for one, it's just kind of an industry standard, but we have to change, when we're creating the designs, we have to change the color so that we make your machine stop in order for you to do the next step. If we would do all of it in one color, your machine would just keep going, and we don't want that. So now what I'm loading up into my machine is the gold thread for the burst of the star. And get that ready there. So what's going to stitch now are the kind of the explosion lines around the star. Okay, that's going to take just a minute for it to stitch. And friends, my machine does not cut jump stitches, so that is my machine is not that sophisticated. Let me raise this up, and while that is stitching, we can talk here. This is the Brother 1250D. It's a great little machine. Yeah, I wished it did cut the jump stitches, but it doesn't. I just have to go back and do that later. The largest hoop size on it is a 5x7 hoop. This design is for the 4x4 hoop. You could easily stitch it in your, if you don't have a 4x4 hoop, you can always go larger. You just can't go smaller than that. So one thing I want to tell you about here, along with the sew-along designs that we have each month, is we're always doing a letter of the week, and that changes weekly. Right now, here, so you can see we're doing these freestanding lace applique letters. So this is actually stitched on water-soluble stabilizer. The design is stitched, and then the stabilizer is rinsed away, and you have a great little tag to hang on a gift or a package, or to use as a Christmas ornament, but it's got a little monogram letter. So again, if you're new to watch how we're doing the applique here, because the same principle applies to doing the applique on the letters here. This is just about done here doing the burst. I'm going to lower the camera so you can see it finish out at the end here. I like these little scissors. They're little spring action scissors here, and I'm going to use these to trim the jump stitches. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my thread ready to go around the outside edge of the star. I'm going to use blue thread. Okay, that finished with the burst. Let me go ahead and switch my thread color here. So that's done and ready to go. I hope you all have been stitching along with me every month here. Use the hashtag embroideryitsew-along when you post your completed coasters on social media. That way I can find you if you post it on Facebook or Instagram. You know, I've got a little, hold on, it just looped around my needle and I don't want to have a little knot in my thread here. Hang on just a second. I do not want problems later on. This is looped around and it should not be. Let's try this again here. There we go. That'll do the trick. There. Okay, let's take this off. Let me show you where we're at. You can see the little starburst there, and we'll just trim the jump stitches here just so they're out of the way and we don't have to deal with them later. Anyway, I hope you've been stitching along with me, friends. This is the last in the series. We've gone through an entire year of coasters. And so, friends, if you're watching this, it's after July or after the month that the coaster was offered. They're over for sale on the website. They're only $1.50 for the designs, so you can easily collect any of them that you've missed. They're just about finished up. Three more. I hope y'all are having a good summer, a good month of July, that you're getting to take a summer vacation, that the weather is behaving in your neck of the woods. There we go. All right, that's what it looks like now. And we'll put the hoop back on the machine. Always remember, friends, don't unhoop your design until you are completely finished with stitching everything out. So now what it's going to do is it's going to show us the placement for our fabric. So I have my fabric ready to go, and I switched it to the blue thread because that's what I want to use for my satin stitching, is the blue thread. So we just want everything to match. Again, if you're following along in the thread chart, you would see that one in red showing it, indicating it's a placement line. I'm going to put my fabric here so it covers that placement line, and I want to make sure everything is covered. Don't have any little points sticking out there. And the next is the tack down. Once again, friends, you could tape this if you like, but I'm going to just watch it closely that it doesn't pucker. And now this is tacking down that fabric to our felt and stabilizer. Here we go. Let me show you where we're at. We're going to take the hoop off of the machine, but do not unhoop your design. Leave everything always in the hoop until it's completely finished, or until the instructions would say to take it out of the hoop. But I'm telling you, for this one, the instructions are do not unhoop it until it's all done. Okay, let's get this trim. And again, I just like to use little spring action scissors. They go pretty quick. And I trim it just close to the stitching. So about a 1/16 of an inch or so, an 1/8 of an inch away from the stitching. Here we go, one more little bit. And I'll show you right where we're at. There's what it looks like now. We'll put the design back on the machine, and it's now going to stitch the decorative satin border. So let me raise the camera up. This is going to just take a couple of minutes here while it stitches that border. So we can chat for a bit here while that's stitching. Okay, so this coaster matches all of the other coasters that we've been making throughout. So you can see the apple coaster. We're using the same decorative satin border in all of our coasters. We're using the same decorative zigzag along the edge of all the coasters. So you guys can mix and match all of your coasters any way that you see fit. These are previous coasters that we've done previous months. Here's the heart. Remember, I showed you how to put your name in a heart. I think that the star would be really cute for a monogram letter too. If you have a monogram letter in your stash of designs or built into your machine, you could add that to the star. And I show you in the heart video how to add a name to the heart without needing special software to do it. So go back and watch that one. Here's just a plain heart. We did the Easter egg, and I showed you how to put a ribbon so you could hang it. We did the watermelon. That was last month. We just finished that one up. The chicken, that was one of our earlier designs. So friends, gosh, we've done 12. You guys have been, many of you have been with me all year long, and I am so thankful for all of you here. Here was a Christmas present that we did at Christmas time. All right, so I told you guys we were going to do these for a year, and then I'd have something else for you, and I have just a sneak peek to show you of what is coming up next. For the next year, you guys, we're going to do cards. We're going to do all different, the fun thing is we're going to do all different kinds. So here are the coasters. They all kind of matched and coordinated, kind of all the same in the hoop applique technique. With the cards, we're going to do something different every month. So here's the first one we're going to do, and it's just a little zigzag stitch, and I used variegated thread around the edge of the butterfly. I've stitched right directly on the paper. So you guys, it's so easy, and then you can write any sentiment that you want, you can write on the inside. So this would be nice for a mom or a sister or a friend. But anyway, the technique is we're just going to do this really lightweight zigzag stitching. So let me tell you, so you get ready, and you can join me next month for this. Save an old 7511 needle, embroidery needle. You guys know when you're changing your needles out and you think, oh, this needle still has a little bit of life to it, you know, but yet you want to change it because you're starting in a new large project. If you have saved some of those old needles, that's what you want to use. Is you want to use an old 7511 needle, not anything that's bent or that has a burr on the tip, but just something that still has, you've used for other projects, still has a little life to it. And we're going to get cardstock. I will be giving you guys all of the supplies very soon that you're going to need. This is just a sneak peek and to tell you to get ready for what's coming up. And we'll do a year of cards. You guys are going to have cards for all seasons and occasions. It'll be fun because you guys are doing it in the embroidery machine. So really, technically, the cards are an in the hoop project because you are doing the entire project in the hoop, which is what in the hoop stands for. So anyway, it'll be fun. You'll get some fun things to do. I'll make some fun gifts for people. You'll have birthday cards, Christmas cards, all kinds of things coming up. So, all right, I'm going to lower the camera. This is just finishing out with the satin stitching, and it's going to do a little bit of decorative stitching around the edges of the satin. And you guys can follow right along. I hope you've got your embroidery machine just humming along with mine. So it did the satin stitching, and now it is stitching around the edge of the design, around the edge of the satin stitching. It's going to stitch on the outside and on the inside of the satin stitching. And so again, that just coordinates with all of the other designs. I think these are really cute to put on aprons. You can put them, you can do 2 or 3 along the edge of a towel, and wouldn't that look cute? Do 2 or 3 along the edge of a hand towel, add a little ruffle or a little ribbon. That would be really sweet. You could put one on a baby bib. Just let your imagination go wild, but you can mix and match these. You could put, so if you're going to give these two as gifts, these make great stocking stuffers. Do 4 of them, either all the same or mix and match. Tie a pretty ribbon around. You guys tuck this in a Christmas stocking. These are great teacher gifts. These are great gifts for just anybody that you want to give a little thank you to. For your neighbors, you can tuck them in with a plate full of cookies, and it just, because it's so quick and so easy, and your friends will be like, thank you. Here it was, what a quick and easy gift, but it's something that's going to be so greatly appreciated. All right, it has finished stitching out the satin border, and what we're going to do now, again, we're still not quite finished, but we need to take the hoop off of the machine. Do not unhoop your design. We're going to turn the hoop upside down, take our second piece of felt. Now friends, if you were going to put a hanger on here, here's the time you would take a piece of ribbon, tape it in place, and sandwich it in between the 2 pieces of felt. So we're going to put the felt on the back side, and you do need your tape here. So I tear off a little bit of painter's tape. You don't need much. And I just tear that in 4ths, and I stick it right on the corners to hold the back in place. And I will show you here too. You can see that's what the back looks like right now. Now carefully put this back in your machine, and you can switch. Now what it's going to do is it's going to stitch the zigzag that goes around. This is what attaches the back of your design to the front, and if you wanted to, I chose to use blue for my zigzag, but you could use white, or you could use the gold, or whatever color you're using to match your fabric. Just have fun. You could use a pretty variegated thread. That would look nice also. So anyway, this is just going to stitch around, and this way you have a nice finished back. It makes the project look finished and look completed. This will take just a minute. Now what I've done on all of my designs is I have trimmed them with pinking shears. You could use a straight scissors if you like. I just kind of like the look of the pinking shears. I think it gives it kind of a nice, just kind of a nice country look. So I've got my pinking shears here ready to go as well, and that will be the next thing. One thing I did on these stars, and I did this intentionally, is I used a different color, or I chose a different area of the fabric. So like here I've got stripes. Oops. Get my coasters mixed up. Here's a solid yellow star. here is a blue star with little gold stars, and here I've used a solid blue star. And this way, friends, when I have people over, when we're using these coasters, it just helps people know whose glass belongs to whom. I do that with a lot of my designs here. You know, with the chickens, I used yellow and blue, brown, green. You know, just seriously, let your imagination go. I know a green chicken is a little silly, but hey, we're having fun here, right? So just have fun and be creative and use your stash. These are a great way to use up your stash. That's what I do. I've got a stash bucket and I just dig in there for the fabric that I want, and just helps to use those scraps up that you've been saving. Okay, and the machine has beeped, you guys. It's done. It is done. Let's take a look. We may now take the design out of the hoop. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit here. What I like to do now is I want to tear away carefully the tearaway stabilizer. There. And now I'm going to get my pinking shears, and I like to trim around it about 1/4 of an inch, maybe just a hair less than that. Just take your time. There is no rush. Go carefully around the corners. You can see I've got a few little threads to trim up, but that'll take just a second. There we go. Take a look. Ta-da! Here, let me raise the camera one more time. You guys, that was it. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And you're done. You're done. And once you've done one, the next one will go even a little bit quicker here, because you won't have to listen to me explain everything. But now I have 4 coasters. I'm going to bundle these up together, put a pretty ribbon around it, and I'm going to give it to somebody who's going to enjoy it. So it's a nice little gift. Thank you guys for stitching with me. I appreciate you being here. Remember to head over to embroideryit.com to grab the design, and when you post your finished coasters, use the hashtag embroideryitSewAlong so I can find you, so we can all find you. All right, I will see you guys next month, and we'll start with the cards. And thank you for watching with me. I appreciate you. Take care. Bye now.